The happiest streaming service on Earth faces an unexpected decline, losing millions of subscribers in 2023. Is Disney Plus losing its magic touch? Disney Plus kicked off with a massive 10 million subscribers on its first day. But here's the plot twist. It waved goodbye to 15.1 million subscribers in the first half of 2023. That's 3 quarters in a row with a subscriber dip. So what does the future hold for this streaming giant as we are heading towards 2024? Let's find out in this video. So, Disney Plus has an interesting backstory. It all started with the changing way we consume media and the rise of streaming services. Back in the early 2000s, streaming media was gaining traction, and Disney Plus entered the scene to keep up with the evolving industry trends. Netflix, founded in 1997 by Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph, played a huge role in shaping the streaming landscape. In the late 2000s, Netflix shifted from mailing DVDs to online streaming, changing how we all watch content. This move inspired other companies like Hulu, Amazon Prime Video, and HBO Max to jump on the streaming market. Fast forward to April 2018, and the Walt Disney Company announced Disney Plus because they realized they needed a dedicated platform for their extensive content library. When Disney Plus finally launched on November 12, 2019, reactions were all over the place. Some were annoyed at having to pay for yet another streaming service to watch Disney movies, while others were stoked to have a single place for all things Disney. The MCU and Star Wars found success on the platform, with new series expanding on the existing cinematic universes. Disney Plus gained traction quickly, hitting over 73 million subscribers globally in its first year. But like every other streaming service in the post-COVID era, Disney Plus faced subscription losses. In the fourth quarter of 2022, it lost 2.4 million subscribers, marking its first decline since its launch. While this was expected, the drop was larger than analysts had anticipated. Bob Iger, who returned to the CEO role, shared insights on this drop during the earnings call recently, marking his first results presentation since replacing Bob Chapek. We'll delve into what he had to say later in this video, but for now, let's take a closer look at the numbers. In 2022, Disney Plus raked in a whopping $7.423 billion, but in 2023, it's down to $6.16 billion. So it's been a hit-and-miss journey for Disney Plus. Star Wars fans loved The Mandalorian, but weren't too keen on Obi-Wan Kenobi. Despite impressive advertising, a solid content network, and high ratings, subscriptions are slipping. Even the Disney Bundle, meant to be an outstanding alternative, couldn't stop the decline. So what's the deal with Disney Plus taking a hit? Well, according to Iger, it's all about the losses faced by Disney Plus Hotstar, the Southeast Asian/Indian version of the streaming service. They hit a roadblock last year when they lost streaming rights to the Indian Premier League, a super popular cricket league in India. Despite Disney lowering growth projections for Disney Plus Hotstar, the decline turned out to be a bit more than expected. It seems like the big players in media and entertainment are realizing that the era of massive streaming subscriber growth might be slowing down. Netflix, for instance, reported better than expected growth, adding 1.75 million subscribers in its first quarter, bringing its global total to 232.5 million. Warner Bros. Discovery added 1.6 million, reaching 97.6 million. Now, fans of Disney Plus are puzzled about why the streaming service claims to be more successful than it actually is. How is it possible that Disney Plus's ratings are unclear? Well, let's talk about transparency. Disney is keeping a tight lid on viewership numbers for its original series and movies, unlike other streaming giants like Netflix, which have become more open about it. Since Disney Plus doesn't have ads, there's no pressure to partner with Nielsen for ratings. Disney believes that releasing numbers would draw too much attention to individual performances, so platforms like Rotten Tomatoes have to pick up the slack in describing Disney's ratings. Now, transparency is key when Netflix decides to greenlight another season. They throw around terms like efficiency metrics to figure out if a series is worth keeping. The bottom line, will the show retain subscribers who might otherwise cancel? Take Stranger Things, Netflix's golden child. It's likely to keep getting renewed based on the algorithm, but a cult favorite like The OA, despite its devoted following, might not be as lucky. Nielsen ratings are public eye candy, reaffirming a show's success or its failure. On the Disney Plus front, things haven't been all sunshine and rainbows. With a ton of shows dropping in the past couple of years, fans are feeling the burn of viewing fatigue, especially with the MCU series and Star Wars facing a similar decline. Disney Plus is struggling to make the service profitable, losing thousands of subscribers in the last year. In the quest to stay dominant against Netflix, Disney Plus reported an operating deficit of nearly $1.5 billion for its direct-to-consumer division, which includes Hulu and ESPN+. That's double the loss from the previous year's quarter. Now let's rewind to last August when Iger's team announced a monthly fee hike for Disney Plus by $3, bringing it to $11 a month. They also threw in a streaming membership with commercials for $8 a month. The result? Disney Plus posted a quarterly profit of $162 million, pretty much the same as a year earlier. Again, not great. Despite Disney's parks businesses picking up, thanks to the political scene stirred up by Ron DeSantis, earnings and sales fell short of expectations. Tough break, right? Switching guns to Disney Plus exclusives, they dropped James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy 3 with a bang. But here's the thing, Disney Plus isn't shy about releasing alternate endings or slightly different versions of their stuff. Could be a cool gimmick, or it could set a tricky precedent for a company that's been around forever but is kind of new to streaming. Some fans might feel like they're in the loop, but others could end up watching a different version on another platform. So, is this a smart move by Disney? It's tough to say. What's clear is that Disney Plus is working hard to beef up its streaming catalogue. The whole idea behind Disney was to give all kids a place to enjoy being kids, away from the complications of the world. But lately, Disney Plus seems to be trying to be everything for everyone. Not an easy feat. Oh, and by the way, Disney Plus had a cancellation rate of 6% from 2021 to the first half of 2022. Now let's break down why folks are hitting that cancel button. 45% said it was because they didn't see enough value. Another 26% bounced because of the lack of content diversity, higher than HBO Max but lower than Netflix. And 19% called it quits because the original programming wasn't cutting it. So what's the takeaway? Disney Plus needs to make its original content more accessible, less pricey, and maybe more kid-friendly. Sure, the Avengers series, Star Wars, and Spider-Man are a blast, but they're not really Disney properties. The issue here is that Disney Plus has been leaning too much on those and not enough on its own stuff. Disney needs to go back to its roots. Remember The Little Mermaid 2023 and Dumbo 2019? They might be remakes, but at least it's a step in the right direction. Disney Plus should focus on its own unique creations, instead of relying too much on Marvel or Star Wars to bring in the viewers. Funnily enough, Disney's been shuffling around release dates for upcoming shows, possibly to combat subscriber fatigue. No official word on why, but fans are crossing their fingers, hoping Disney's listening to their complaints and slowing down production for better quality shows. So it's been a roller coaster for all the streamers out there in this new programming era. People tend to hop on and off streaming services like it's a monthly decision, depending on what's up for grabs. Take Netflix for example. If you're just into Stranger Things, you can easily hit pause on your subscription between seasons. Now, keep an eye on Disney Plus subscriptions in the US because the next quarter is shaping up to be interesting. They've rolled out their own ad-supported tier, and hey, both Discovery and Disney announced thousands of job eliminations and billions of dollars in content spending cuts recently. Disney's going to make less stuff, said their CFO Christine McCarthy in a November's earnings call, but CEO Bob Iger thinks it won't mess with their global subscribers. Here's the real test for the streaming game, those lower-priced ad tiers. Will people still sign up? It's a far cry from the early days when the absence of ads was the main attraction. Speaking of big bosses, Bob Iger is back in the CEO chair, and he's on a mission to boost Disney's streaming cash. It's a big deal for the company's future plans. And guess what? Disney Plus made a comeback in the fourth quarter with a cool 7 million surge in core subscribers. That helped them cut down on streaming losses, and now they're aiming to make a profit by late 2024. Disney Plus now boasts 161.8 million subscribers, including Disney Plus Hotstar subscriptions, though it's still trailing behind Netflix. Now let us know what you think. Is Disney Plus playing it right by hitting the brakes on their releases? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to like this video and hit that subscribe button for more amazing content. See you in the next video. Until then, stay tuned.